this video, I'm going to show you how to save your race day photos from, well, pretty much any website, but in this example we're going to be using Finish a Pic. Now, say you run Rock and Roll San Diego Marathon, you put your bib number in. Hello Lorna Tan Friedrich, that's me, yes, of course. And you're looking at your photos, you're like, oh, there's some watermarked things, but wouldn't it be cool if we could save these to our computer? Now, removing the watermarks, that's a kind of different video. Technology has improved. You can remove a watermark. It's not in the scope of this video. However, I will show you how to save these images. And similar websites work a lot the same. So, these are all my photos. Let's click one. Now the picture doesn't really get any bigger, as you can see. So we're using Google Chrome here. So with Google Chrome, press F12 on the keyboard. You'll see this window pop up here. Sometimes it pops up on the side. It's no big deal. You click the three dots. You can dock it wherever you want. I have it docked at the bottom. Now, press this little button here on the left, and that allows you to select any element on the page. We click the picture. When we click the picture, we highlight the HTML element here, which is an image. And inside the image is a required URL, which is here. We click here. Very simple, there's our image. Now, you might be asking, why can't we right click? Well, right click's disabled. They do that on purpose because they don't want you to save the images. Now, let's get the next one. So let's put our bib back in. And say we want to get this next one. Some websites have this cool scroll feature where you can actually scroll across. It makes it a lot easier. We do the same again. Click this, click the element, click the link. And that's just there. Now, this is our first image we had here. This is our second one. Do you notice a pattern? Well, the answer is the JPEG number here of the file name. Every time they take a picture, it increments by 1. You can see 39, 40. All websites will be different, but you will notice a pattern the more links you gather. So what we can assume is if we deduct 1 from this, even though this image didn't appear in our selection of images, so we go back to this page here, the first one was this image here, but what we have uncovered is a previous image where we're further in the distance. So that allows us to go back in time and actually access some images that aren't available to us where we might appear. We can even go further back and go 37. And there we can see ourselves way in the distance. Alternatively, we could bring it forward, so 5 images later, we can see ourselves crossing the finish line. And once you have these, you have the links for these images, we can actually right click and save them now, because we don't have this page here where right click has been disabled. We're actually opening the JPEG in this case in a whole new window, and then we don't have that kind of disable right click thing going on. So we can actually just save this to our drive and be on our way. With this website, as the numbers increment to access the next picture, we just increment by 1, save it, increment by 1, save it, etc., etc. Now that works when, say this is a finish line camera, so this camera will increment all its pictures by 1. You can see the camera is stationary, it takes pictures of the finish line. You might have a camera right here. Again, this is the finish line, you can tell it's the same camera, but the JPEG sequence will be different because it's a different camera. That's how cameras work. So if we look at this URL here, and then go to the next one, which is here. So click that. There we go. So this is a different camera. I think I ended up clicking the same one again. Little bit fiddly. There it is, 198. So these are the two images. You can see the JPEG increments by 1, but it's a totally different number than this camera over here. You see this is 203938, this is 081. It's just a different camera, but you can see it increments by 1. So what we could do is deduct 1 from this and see if we can see ourselves further back. No, it's just some guy with his fist in the air, that's okay. But we can also go one forwards. See if we appear in there. There. So there's an image that doesn't exist, which we've uncovered. And you can save that the same way. Right there. And again, this is a different camera, these two here. So again, same process. This is a different camera, so you'll need to look into this one. And again, there's a different camera here, which is a zoomed in shot of the finish line. So you can use the same technique for all of those. But one last thing I'll leave you with is a different method on how to do this. It's a lot easier, depending if you have the right browser. For example, I'm on Windows. This is Internet Explorer, good old-fashioned Internet Explorer. You can see they don't make the website for Internet Explorer. It looks horrible, doesn't it? But it supports it. Now, the thing about Google Chrome is, well, let me explain how websites work. You go to a website, press enter. What happens is all this information gets saved locally to your computer. That's how the internet works. So, by design, it's actually saved to your computer. I'll show you what I mean by that. So all this here is that web page. That's on your hard drive already. That's how the internet works. You can't really say it's like downloading their stuff without permission because, it's on a website. It gets downloaded automatically. If it doesn't do that, there's no way you can actually view it. So in Google Chrome, it does the same thing, but with Google Chrome, it kind of caches it. It gives it unrecognizable files, what's called non-binary files. However, using an older browser like Internet Explorer, you can actually see, look, here's all the JPEGs for the images. So let's double click here. There we are. Next one. There's the next one. So it actually downloads all these images for us, which is a lot easier because you could just highlight all of these, copy them, rename them, done. So the only thing with this is if there's a larger version of the photo, say there's a little thumbnail of the photo, you can click it or click into it, then you get a larger photo. So you will have to do that for these files to appear locally, because if we're looking at thumbnails, for example, small photos of the bigger picture, it's going to save all the thumbnails, all the tiny pictures, but what we want is the biggest version of that photo available. So in that case, if there is a larger version available, we'd click each thumbnail, make sure we can view the full image, and once we view the image on the website, that will get downloaded to our computer in this folder, and then you'll have everything in here. So you will have all the thumbnails, and when you click the thumbnails to load the bigger JPEG, if the one is available, and if it is available, it will download it to this folder. So what you can do here is just save all the JPEGs, so you can sort by type, and that will put all your JPEGs at the end, so you can save all those, copy them out, and filter out the race photos. It's going to download absolutely everything, so you're going to have, like little styles and little advertisements. But, these are the ones you're interested in. You can actually see the file name in here already, so you know which ones apply to you. And that way we don't have to kind of dig in and stuff. So the reason I showed you the other method first is that you can actually find photos that aren't available to you by using the numbering system and going down and up, and that way you have all of them. This method is kind of quick and dirty if you just want them, and it's just another method anyway. So I hope this helped you, and thank you for watching.